this is Postman, and this will be the last track walkthrough for the Rights of Calling EP. And this time I'll walk you through Serotonin Sequence, the last track of the EP, which was released on Outtallectuals, which I really want to thank again. So this track is kind of a beautiful mess, I guess. It's really intensive and quite hectic. There's a lot of going on, and yeah, it was really kind of difficult to write and also mix properly, but with some help of Arjen and his awesome feedback, it kind of worked. Maybe I'll read you the story first about this one.
The young ones barely escaped the mire alive. If thou hadn't slayed the snake-like stealing, inhabiting the noxious waters, they wouldn't have lived to tell the tale. Severely drained, the young ones rest until they feel ready for the next challenge, the rite of passion. The premise is simple. They are tasked to find an activity that elevates their spirit, that fills them with passion until they become one with the moment, until they can empty their minds and receive the mark of passion from the ring. The execution, however, is far from easy. Young minds are like a pool full of hungry fish, difficult to quench and still. After several days, Alex and his friends have found their spark of passion. For Dow, it's the act of fishing. Rain found her passion in seducing young men and sleeping with them. The apple didn't fall far from the tree for Alex, as he found his passion in music, like his mother and uncle. Not in playing an instrument, but by dancing at the festivities. Together, Alex and his friends dream of their future life as adults. Having passed all the rites, tomorrow they will receive their calling from the rings. But tonight, they feast and celebrate their earned adulthood.
So, like the story kind of tells, so the characters have to look for the something that they're passionate about. For the main character Alex, it's dancing, so I really wanted to represent that into the track. So I think D&B being a bit of the family of EDM, electronic dance music, it had to be really kind of dancey and I don't know, forcing you to move along it, or at least bobbing your head to the track. I think inspiration wise was really I was really inspired by African percussion and African rhythms and so on, but also traditional African dance, like the Zulu warrior dance, or the I think it's called Sauli funeral dances. Those ritualistic dances, they're quite really amazing and enthralling to look at. They're really eye-catching and cool. So let's get on with the track. Okay, there's a lot of going on, like you can see. So the intro, there's a bit of reiteration going on, not that much. So you have this main loop, it's kindly provided by Minor Rain in a MATLAB breakback, I guess. Yeah. I don't know what I did with that break. I think I processed it in some way with Regroover Pro. Let's look at the original. Yeah, maybe. So really something completely different. I reiterated that in several ways. So here it's kind of glitches and noises from it. Here it's, yeah, kind of stretched and glitched out, adding extra percussion. Then I, again, like the previous track, I fed it through a Corpus plugin, which is again simulating the sound source being exciting some kind of membrane, which here is by chance the membrane setting, which is adding some tonal percussion into the mix. So the intro is kind of building up on those percussions, that kind of tribalistic feel, with some flutes being added in. Some are synthetic, some are organic. So here I have a rack containing some flute samples and face plants, actually mimicking a kind of flute-like sound. Yeah, and combining those two to have that like kind of digital organic hybrid. Yeah, and here the I think the original sample from which I extracted the MIDI. So like kind of shakuhachi kind of sample. I combined different flutes to have different textures and have a fuller, more harmonic whole. Yeah, I'm also introducing some tribal chants, some war chants, bumping up the track, some 808s, whatnot, just to emphasize the hits and the kicks. Yeah, then it's building up. Yeah. Releasing the percussions, building up the vocal loops, and kind of introducing the main bass growl kind of thing. So the drop is kind of full on. There's a lot of going on, and actually it's all sculpting rhythms in a different way. So the kick is doing one rhythmic pattern, the snare is doing another, and the bass is doing another one. So it's kind of a rhythmic mess, but it still works, and it has that kind of complex African kind of feel to it. So here are the kicks. So the top layers is kind of really nice kind of top end, and this lower those lower kicks add some boom, and they're actually going through Zebrify, which is adding some of the that special zebra kind of reverb, which makes it more boomy. It is not something I would do usual, but here it kind of just works and makes it kind of more special. I think the whole kind of works good. Okay, then there are the snares, which are really pitchy and tonally. So 2 layers again. So I think this, it's really tonal layer being fed through Brainworks Rooms, which is simulating kind of a roomy reverb, and here some textural snaps, being processed by audio unfiltered audio dent, which is kind of crushing it, bringing out some nice top end, which is then being somewhat tamed by BX refinement and suits. Okay. So like you can hear, those 2 elements are doing some different things, and then the bass is adding another rhythmic layer to it. Here, Yeah, so it's sampled bass being fed through isotope trash, being EQ'd accordingly, again distorted again, and then going through suits, which is taming some of the harsher frequencies and EQ'd accordingly. So it's like being distorted, processed, tamed, distorted again, and being tamed again, just to make it quite a bit different of the original sound. Okay, and so the whole is kind of creating a really cool, nice rhythmic interchange of all the elements. And then on top there's those flutes, just adding some tonality to the mix, some tribal-ish vibes to the whole. Okay, then a few bars later, some elements are being stripped down just to help not bore the listener out, just to keep it dynamic. It was a really nice tip from Arjen. So the bass is not hitting all the time, some drums are not hitting all the time. So lowering the intensity just to let the listener breathe and then make the track more interesting. Then after that section, some elements are being introduced again. Some new elements are also being introduced. There's this kind of ride bell kind of sounds, like Christmas bells, some kind of stuff. Again, doing a whole other rhythm, adding to the rhythmic texture of it. Yeah, sounds really like shuffled and messy, but in the context it sounds quite okay. And back, some few bars again, some elements are being stripped out again, some rhythms are being accentuated by breaks. The flutes are being reduced to the bare minimum, and then we're going back into the break, kind of repeating the intro a bit. So there's tonal percussions, that loop reiterations, and so on. Producing those war chants back again, those flutes back again, and so on. And then we have the second drop, which first hits half time. So the bass is then also being heavily filtered. Yeah, the percussions are more stomping and whatnot. Some breaks fill in the holes created by the halftime feel. After that halftime section, we're getting back to a more full-time groove with some fills and all. Yeah. So this kind of loop, yeah, just kind of being bit crushed a bit, adding rhythmic texture to the mix. And then a bit later we're adding more breaks to the mix, creating more hectic kind of feel to this, yeah, snare groove kind of thing. Yeah. And then it's again transitioning into more full-on break chorus kind of stuff. So just not straight the drum and bass groove, but more variation, more shuffling, kind of jungle feel to it. And then for the last section, we're getting a straight drum and bass groove. with some different snares, I guess. Yeah, just the clap textures being pitched up and down. I don't know, kind of feels like that. Yeah, they're just different samples, I guess. Yeah, no, they're the same, just being pitched up and down. Then I probably consolidated and yeah. Yeah. Again with the flutes doing their own thing on top of it, and then the end of the track, just the flutes hitting that hook yet once again. And voila, that's it for the track. Hope you enjoyed the Rites of Calling walkthrough videos. If you like this video, please leave a like. If you want to subscribe, please do so, and I'll catch you next time.